I was on YouTube here. I'm just looking to make sure I'm still recording. I was on YouTube and I come across these celebrity ghost stories, which is very cool. I was watching one on John Snyder. Reminded me, I'll tell you one of my ghost stories. This is probably being 18, 20 years ago. My uncle, I won't give his first name because he may not like it. I don't know. But I'll call him G. My Uncle G got an inheritance either from he retired from Chevrolet in Cincinnati, but he got an inheritance either from his grandma or mom. I can't remember. And she had money. Well, he decides he buys 110. Now this is in McCreary County, Kentucky, southeastern Kentucky. He buys 110 acres, and he's inherited a lot of money. He purchased 110 acres, and he wants a house built. I think it was red cedar, red wood, expensive, and real high ceiling house. And he's having his house built about, I'm gonna guess, it was a long way, probably about 3 miles off the main drag. And he hires me, not to work, to watch it at night. I think he paid me $180, or I think it was close to $200 a week. Paid me on a Friday. Now, Dad and the work crew would be there during the day. So as soon as and it was a mobile home. I stayed in a mobile home because there's a mobile home already on the property, and the house is being built a little farther back. Long driveway. Whew. It's all gravel. He says, you got to be here at night. And he says, I'll give you a gun. So he gave me a rifle. He said, you want a shotgun or else I'll take the rifle. And he gave me, and he says, if you catch anybody on here, you tell him to get on. He's very frank. He says, I don't want no trespassing, period. And he had a lot of expensive lumber being hauled in. You can imagine, how nervous he was. But he said, I'll pay you. I think it was $200 a week. But he said, you got it. He said, I ain't going, since you're only going to be here all night. He said, I think he cut the phone off. I had power, but he cut the phone off. That there ain't no one, his attitude, there ain't going to be no one bother you back here. Well, I thought, okay, I'll try it. And what he said, no, either you want the job or you don't. You got to live about 3 miles off the main drag. I said, I'll take it. I was still desperate for money 18, 20 years ago. Well, I decided not to take a car back here because there's a chance that the wrong person would know you're by yourself, whether you got a gun or not. So I would sneak in. He didn't say the hour I had to be there, but I always snuck in late, about 11 or 12. And I rode a mountain bike because it was quiet. People, I had a flashlight. Do you know what it feels like to walk 3 miles on a gravel road, midnight? I had to get to that mobile home. I'm all by myself. Whew. It's what you don't hear. It was so dead quiet. I always kept the rifle in one of the bedroom's closet. Getting there was hard. And when I got in the mobile home, I had to check each room. And if I'm by myself, people, middle of nowhere, basically. That was nerve-wracking. Now, once I could feel the heart pumping in my neck. I'm 3 miles middle of nowhere on the gravel road. They have a long driveway. And there was an abandoned house where I rode the bike. As a matter of fact, I walked it. I didn't ride. Afraid to get a flat. For $200 a week, for doing nothing, just sleeping there, just to make sure no one trespasses. Because late, they get done at 5 or 6, and this is in the summer, and it didn't get dark like it does now, 9:30. So as long as I got there, 11 to 12 midnight, somewhere in there, I'm fine. And he didn't state the hour I had to be there. He just said I had to stay there all night. So I stayed there 6, 7 hours. I always had a fear of choking because I was middle of nowhere. And at Friday come along, you pay, I think it was $200, pretty sure. I think one time it was 180, he said, I'll get 20. And he paid me he went to the bank, paid me a few hours later. He was very good about that. Gave me one time he gave me 180, the next time he gave me $200. Hey, for doing nothing. Just had to put up with the fear of being by myself 3 miles in the middle of nowhere. That was pretty, but the scariest part, you know, you're walking and you got a flashlight, a pretty bright flashlight because he bought batteries, and you're walking this lonely gravel road at midnight, say, and you think you see something. Oh shit! But the hardest part was when I was inside that mobile home checking each room. Basically, you're trapped there. If anybody's in there, you're screwed. They're up to no good. Well, what I did, I always go to the room where the rifle was at, and I prayed to God that rifle's still there in the closet corner. But once I got settled in, I had a radio, but I kept it low. Hey, the most eerie feeling is hearing nothing at all. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm on a long gravel road, middle of nowhere. Would I do it again for $200 a week? Well, I kind of doubt that. But what it is, you know, $200 a week for doing basically nothing, just getting the hell scared out of you at times, because you think you hear something, think you see something. Did that for a roll until they built the house. Well, I did that until they put the walls up and was able to lock the house. When they was able to, you know, they built the house, the electrician ain't got there, but was able to lock it, and he said he thought it'd be okay. So I figured how long, I stayed there probably, done that for like 2.5, 3 months. So yeah, total darkness. Yeah, ain't that crazy? Just, you know, damn, I wish I had YouTube then.